Hello, everyone. Dr. Mandela here with you. Yes, we are live streaming, but I have some great information to share with you today because I'm sure many of you are very curious about this beautiful bottle called apple cider vinegar. Um, the information I'm going to share with you is really going to kind of put things back in line. I'm going to tell you the benefits. We're going to go into some great information that you can share this with your family and friends because all I want to do is give you the love so you can have the health to live a long life with your family and friends and stay happy. But let's first look at this beautiful bottle here. It looks so pretty, I don't even want to open it. This is organic, raw, unfiltered apple cider vinegar with the mother. Now, we need to understand what the mother is, because if you're taking apple cider vinegar and you're not having it with the mother, you're missing out on a lot of very important enzymes and proteins. And if you look on the bottom here, see those little fragments there? A lot of people don't realize all that little strands that's going on. Maybe there's a better, I'm sure all you can see that now. Well, all those strands are called the mother. And when this is fermented, obviously this is acetic acid. When it's fermented, those sugars are fermented into this particular vinegar. It's left with those strands of proteins and enzymes. Now think about this. Mother Nature, or if you want to call it, doesn't matter, someone who created this, you call it, doesn't matter. I'm not going to put words out there, but they created these strands of proteins. We don't want to take it out. That's kind of like taking the juice of a fruit out and drinking it without the other enzymes and the fiber. We always want to keep it in a whole state. So first of all, if you are drinking apple cider vinegar, you have to have it with the mother, and it should be organic and it should be raw. We got that straightened out. Now, the next thing is that when we drink this apple cider vinegar, we do not want to drink it from the bottle or a straw unless it's diluted. I'm going to say that first, and I'll come back to that later. But there are some different things that you need to understand that you don't want to do that can actually make conditions worse, because there are people out there that are going to say, I drink apple cider vinegar and I get burning in my stomach, or it doesn't agree with me, I get nausea. Just hold on. I'm going to try to help you with that in just a little while. But first, let me go over some important things that, first of all, when we drink this, 1 glass of water to 1 tablespoon or 2 teaspoons or 1 teaspoon. Now, 3 teaspoons equals a tablespoon. So if you're going to start out on 1 teaspoon. See how your body reacts. A lot of people will start out on a tablespoon because it will say take a tablespoon 3 times a day, or 1 to 2 teaspoons. So start out on a teaspoon. You'll thank me, because sometimes, think about this. Imagine how toxic your body is, all right? Now you're trying to run a marathon when you never ran before. Well, your body's toxic and you're trying to put in such good stuff in your body now, your body's reacting. It's saying, oh, I can't take that stuff. Let me tell you something. You got to start slowly. That's number one. I really believe that will make a big difference for a lot of you. First of all, never do that. You can burn your throat, burn your esophagus, and you can really look for problems. You burn the enamel, you can mess up your teeth. There's a lot of bad things. And I used to do this. I used to run out in the morning and I used to say, got my apple cider vinegar. I'm going, baby. It's not good for you. Always dilute it, dilute it, dilute it. So the first thing I tell you is dilute it, because I don't want you not to. That's really important, okay? So we got this. So the mother, the strands of protein as well as the enzymes help the stomach after preparing it. You were sleeping all night and your body is detoxifying. I mean, your body is trying to get rid of toxins as you're sleeping, your liver, but unfortunately you're not getting a lot of fluid as you're sleeping. So as a result of that, you wake up with bad breath. Well, this acetic acid, obviously, when it's diluted, this will kill halitosis, bad breath. It will clean it. It will kill bacteria. This has antimicrobial factors, so this can do a lot of good things. But remember, the first thing you want to put into your intestines is something fresh. So it makes sense that you want the good enzymes ready and available, that when you put the food into your stomach, it's going to digest. And when it digests, it's going to get into your small intestine to get through your bloodstream to do its work rather than staying toxic. So that's number one. The other thing is that when you drink apple cider vinegar, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach, and a lot of you, including myself, sometimes I'll put a little lemon in there, or some people may put a little bit of honey in there, and that's okay. That's okay. But this will give you the sense of satiety because remember, you're balancing hormones. I mean, think about it, that what is insulin? Insulin comes from the pancreas. So when we take our apple cider vinegar, about 15 minutes to a half hour before we eat our first meal, it slows the digestion down. That means the sugars can't equally sustain in the bloodstream. Insulin level sustains more level. You don't get that spike. You're going to help insulin resistance. It's going to make you more insulin sensitive. That means that the glucose is trying to get into your cells for energy. But when you're eating carbs, it allows the carbs to work levelly at a level to where it's never going to spike. And it helps your digestion, it helps your pancreas, and it helps sustain normal insulin levels. Remember, everything is based on that insulin. Insulin seems to do all these diets that we hear about, the keto diet, the Mediterranean diet, all these diets is based upon sugar. And we know that people who eat poorly are going to be more insulin resistant. And if you have a gut around here, okay, by the way, focus on the good today, right? But if your gut is here, and you see that gut growing, it's from too much sugar. It's not from too much fat. I promise you it's from too much sugar. So what happens is when glucose comes into our body, it can only go a couple areas. One, it can be burned off. Two, it gets stored as glycogen either in the muscles or in the liver. Or three, it gets stored as fat. That's it. So if you're putting on fat, you're probably eating too much sugar. And that's why apple cider vinegar is so important. So you might want to take a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons and work your way up to a tablespoon diluted even before each meal. And you're going to say, wow, my digestion's better. I don't feel hungry. I'm not craving sugar. This is just a great tip that I think that a lot of people can be doing to help you lose weight. But remember, when you are satiated, you are not going to crave. So a couple things, let me just go over with you. It's shown to lower high blood pressure, but it's not designed to get off your blood pressure medication. But I will tell you that it's known to lower your sugar levels. So if you are taking medication for sugar, like metformin, or you're taking insulin, monitor it. If you're having like gastric problems or maybe like an ulcer, you may want to dilute it more. This is proven to help acid reflux. Now, let me explain something. Most acid refluxes, and you can look this up, this is all studied, most acid reflux has to do with too much or too little acid in the stomach. Okay, when I talk about like that heartburn. What happens as we get older, we secrete less acid, and therefore we start taking antacids that gives us less acid, and now we cannot assimilate the proteins. We have lots of gas, and we're not absorbing calcium, because in order to absorb calcium in the bone, your stomach must be an acidic environment. So by increasing this acetic acid, which is, I believe, 2 to 3 on a pH level, 1 is the most acidic, but this will help most digestions. So if you're having acid and the problem gets worse, then the first thing I would tell you to do is dilute it. And if it doesn't help you there, then don't take it. But you're not going to find a lot of people in that situation. You just won't find it. I want you to understand a few things of some possible contraindications. Number one, I talked about ulcers. If you're having significant pain, listen to your body. We realize that this delays the stomach emptying. So when it delays stomach emptying, it means that you're going to feel full. You're going to be more satiated. You're not going to eat as much, and you're actually going to lose weight. But if you have gastroparesis, and people who do not know what gastroparesis, this is a problem, a neurological problem that affects the stomach. The motility and the movement of the stomach doesn't move as much as it should. So it keeps it in the stomach longer. This could aggravate it, and this can also throw off your insulin and sugar levels, because your body's trying to find out when those sugars are going to be digested into the small intestine. It's not getting there because of the gastroparesis, and you want to be aware of this, and I would recommend speak to your doctor. If you're having any type of significant digestive effects, that if you feel nausea, which not going to be a lot of people, then that's another reason why you want to continue this. Now, people talk about, what about low potassium levels, bone loss? That's only if you're like drinking this, like drinking. I never heard of it. If you're taking 1 tablespoon a day or even 2 tablespoons a day, you are not going to have those problems. So I wouldn't really go into that. Now, we talked about the first thing is tooth enamel. Some people a little paranoid when they drink this, but diluted will not affect your teeth. But I always like to, it's a habit that I get into. After you drink it, even with water, take a little water, plain water, spit it out. You're done. Okay, so the acid won't stay on there. Research shows that they say it's not good to brush your teeth within 30 minutes after drinking apple cider vinegar. So just use water. Why they say that? Because if there's acid on there and you brush acid on the teeth, they say it can affect the enamel. I just won't even do it. Now remember, throat burns, our esophagus, and drug interactions, primarily if you're on diabetic medication, digoxin, which is a blood potassium medication that lowers your blood potassium levels. You don't want to combine it, and certain diuretics. Now, diuretics actually will help the body excrete potassium. So if it's dropping too low, that is not good either. So that is probably the most important thing. But really, in a nutshell, I think that in almost 15 minutes, I think I said a lot. I think I really summarized it. And what I like to do right now is that I like to take a few questions right now, put you in the front, okay, put you up in the front. Like here's a question right here. We had lemon, turmeric, cayenne, black pepper, cinnamon just before every meal. Is that okay? Absolutely. Absolutely. But as long as it's diluted. Now, I would like you to leave a comment. And if you are an apple cider vinegar drinker, I'd like you to share with our audience right now. We got a lot of people in the chat room, over 1,000 people. I'd like you to share your experience with the other chatters, these 1,000 people, of how it helped you and what condition it's helped you with. And this is the best way to learn. This is what fires me up. This is what gets me live with you right now, that you get me live. So share a little bit how it's helped you. I'll put a couple of them up and then we'll finish the program. How does that sound? Here you go here. Well, it makes me poop easier. Yes, it will, because it stimulates peristalsis. And I didn't say that. Thank you very much. Change name. It stimulates peristalsis. So if you are constipated, remember the protein strands and the enzymes that stimulate the digestive tract. You know, our digestive tract starts in our mouth and comes out our anus all the way through. When you stimulate one area, it can stimulate the rest of the tract. That's why it can help you go regular. Excellent. Very, very important. And I think that is a great thing. I drink every morning, empty stomach, and it kept my weight down. Beautiful. Here, by Versailles says it's reduced my blood pressure to normal levels. I've been struggling with high blood. How about that, God? That's beautiful. This is beautiful. Okay. I'll get to your questions here. It helped me with my joint pain. So basically, why is it helping you with your joint pains? Why is it helping you clear your skin irritations here, as Shady McGraver says? And I'll explain why in just a second, okay? Let me go back here. Here's a questionnaire. Should I use 1 teaspoon or 1 tablespoon? If you're just starting out, use a teaspoon, work your way up to 2 teaspoons, then a tablespoon. And one from Philippines, 72-year-old that drink apple cider vinegar, 2 tablespoons in a glass of water early in the morning. Been using it for 15 years. How about this, guys? 15 years. I do my walking 45 minutes in the morning. It starts in the morning drink. 15 years. Well, here's something that's been doing some great stuff. And thank you so much for sharing it with us. What does it mean when you get bloated after drinking it? That means I would dilute it. And that means that I don't want you drinking or eating anything close in time. So do it 15, 20 minutes before you eat. Let it get through your system and don't put anything else in there. Don't mix it. Don't do anything. ACV dissolve my heel spurs. Another thing, thank you so much. The Driver R7. That's correct. It has taken away kidney stones. It has taken away spurs, problems in the body because of the acetic acid. So yes, it can. Will it work in every condition? I doubt it. But can it hurt you? Absolutely not. Question here, can it help with gastritis, as Diana said? Yes, it can, but you dilute it. I recommend all you guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so. Why? Because I love you and I care. There's no other reason. I don't care about numbers. I care about lives. There's a lot that I will share with you in the future, stuff I have been doing, working with children around the world, doing humanitarian work for special need kids over in Asia. You don't know that about me, but I will surprise you one day. So that's not important. It's about life. It's about healing. It's about love. So you can have that time with your family, your friends. I hope that you were able to learn something. God bless you for all the platforms this is going out to tonight, and you will benefit. I promise you. Take good care, and God bless.